Hello, this is the third video in the Seismic Mitigation Program informational series. In this video, we will discuss the many resources available to school districts to help make the application process as clear and seamless as possible. In this video, we will discuss each of the following resources and where to find them. These include OPSC pre-application meetings, the OPSC website, the Seismic Mitigation Program Handbook, frequently asked questions that we've previously received, a brief overview of forms, and a past webcast presentation on the Seismic Mitigation Program. The OPSC offers to any interested school district to have an in-person or teleconference meeting to discuss the district's project or potential projects prior to the district submitting an application to the OPSC. These meetings have been proven invaluable to applicants to have a clear understanding of the program as well as the project costs that are eligible for grant funds and those that are not. An important point to note is that even though the district's project has been approved by the Division of the State Architect, not every component of a district's project may be eligible for funding from the OPSC. For this reason, the OPSC encourages districts to request a pre-application meeting so that the main aspects of the project can be discussed as well as how funding may be calculated. An exact grant amount will not be able to be provided until a complete application is submitted to the OPSC for review. But depending on the circumstances, eligible and ineligible components may be able to be identified, which could help give the district a better idea of what type of funding would be available. To schedule a pre-application meeting with OPSC, you can contact any member of the Seismic Mitigation Program. Their contact information can be found at www.dgs.cic.gov/OPSC/programs/Seismic Mitigation Program. The OPSC Seismic Mitigation Program website is an invaluable asset when navigating the application process. Resources that can be found here include the Seismic Mitigation Program Handbook, frequently asked questions, Seismic Mitigation Program forms, and the past Seismic Mitigation Program presentation, as well as information on SMP eligibility, funding, and fiscal reporting. The Seismic Mitigation Program Handbook was developed by the OPSC and is intended to provide an overview of the program for use by school districts, architects, engineers, and other interested parties who want to understand how the eligibility works, how to apply for the program, and what type of funding is available. On the OPSC website, you can also find a link to the frequently asked questions that we've received for the program. If you click on the link, this document will open that will show you questions which are categorized based on available funding, qualifying for the SMP, the application process, as well as a few additional questions that we've received. Back on the Seismic Mitigation Program homepage, below the frequently asked questions, there's a link that if you click will take you to find the various forms that will be necessary during the application process for the Seismic Mitigation Program. If you were to click on that link, it'll open up this separate site where you can see the forms categorized based on topic. Under the first accordion, titled Seismic Mitigation Program Eligibility Forms, you'll find the Facility Hardship Request Sheet. This form is not required to be submitted with your application. However, it was originally developed to be used by both OPSC and the district as a type of checklist. It's helpful for the district to have this checklist when assembling their application, and it is helpful for the OPSC when we receive it so that we can have a brief overview of the project before assigning the application number or starting the review. The next accordion is for the Seismic Mitigation Program funding forms. These forms would be submitted upfront with your application. The form SAB 5004 is the same funding application form that is used for new construction and modernization program applications. The first few pages are detailed instructions, while the portion of the form that you would need to fill out begins on page 6. The next form listed under the Seismic Mitigation Funding Forms accordion is the Site Development Worksheet for additional grants. This form is used to detail the required site development work and would only be used if you're submitting an application where your building or school is being replaced. The last accordion details the fiscal forms that will be required. All of these forms will need to be submitted after the application is reviewed and approved by the OPSC and then approved by the State Allocation Board for funding. The district will also receive outreach communication at those times notifying you of the necessity to submit each form. If you have any questions on how to fill out or submit any of these forms, please contact a member of the Seismic Mitigation Program. They will either be able to answer your questions or they'll be able to refer you to an expert that can best assist you. Back on the SMP homepage, you will also find a link to a past SMP presentation. While the contact information and funding amounts have since been updated, there is still a lot of helpful basic information that can be found from viewing it. Here on the SMP website is where you will find the most updated contact information. In addition to the items we have already discussed, it also has eligibility, funding, and fiscal reporting accordions, which have helpful links to additional information. The eligibility section outlines the eligibility requirements for the program. The funding section has additional resources for districts and design specialists for use when preparing project plans, specifications, and cost estimates. And the fiscal reporting section provides additional information on compliance reviews and the financial hardship program. Thank you very much for your time. We hope you found this training video on the resources available to Seismic Mitigation Program applicants informative. For additional information on how to apply for funding, please see the next training video in our series. Have a great day.